Guess what time it is? It's 2:38. 2:38 in the morning. We got home from work. I just ate dinner. I had to do the daily doodle, cook, and then eat my food. We got 20 miles in the morning. I'm going to try to do a whole little day in the life. It's not going to be a whole big thing, but a day in the life type of video. Just kind of show just sometimes the stupidity of all this stuff and just the outward outrageousness of it all. So yeah, I'm going to try to get up as early as I can. What time is that? I'm not even fucking sure. But yeah, I'm going to get to bed and I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully, I'm only skeptical because I know I'm going to probably be a little bit frustrated and annoyed. Just because it's going to be later in the day or whatever. So we'll see. But I'm going to try to do a day in the vlog type of deal for Saturday in the long run, and then preparing for Sunday's massive brick workout. So that'll be the plan. We'll see if my feelings and emotions affect that outcome, but see you in the morning. All right, baby. I'm up. It's 10:38. I got out of bed at 9:52, and then I went to the bathroom and I laid back down and then posted the daily doodle and stuff like that. I have like a bit of a head cold, as you can probably hear. Someone at work was sick, and then usually I'm always good about not getting sick, but I think just our body's kind of been so on the limit lately that it's hard for it to fight off little colds like this. So yeah, I felt that coming on Wednesday, and then I think the pool helps with helps me clear that out because there's just all the chlorine and shit in there, and it's probably really gross, that water. The more I swim, the more I realize that water's probably disgusting. From everyone in there, pissing and shit coming out of your nose and all that stuff. So it's probably really, really nasty. But nonetheless, I feel like it helps with the sickness, because I'd get out of the water Wednesday and Friday and I'm like, oh, I feel better. So yeah, so right now it's really just my nose is a little congested, which that's gonna get cleared out on these 20 miles. So it's, like I said, it's 10:40. It's actually 78 degrees outside, which is unreal. It would have been awesome if I could get up early, but I didn't even set an alarm, and I just woke up when I was going to wake up. So whenever that was, I was like, that's when I'm getting up. I woke up at one point at like 8 o'clock, I think, at 8 o'clock. And then waking up at 8 was, I went to bed at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 5 hours. And then I could definitely feel it. I was like, I'm so pretty goddamn tired. So yeah, then I just went back to bed. I was like, yeah, no. And then I woke up again at 9:52. Yeah, one thing I'll usually do, like, that is always just kind of an issue, is I'll be up late from work and then I'll try to set an alarm at a very unreasonable time. And then what I do is I don't get out of bed, or I don't really wake up, and then I just keep on this cycle of pausing it or snoozing it. And then the issue is now I'm not getting out of bed and I'm getting shitty sleep because I'm getting woken up every 10 minutes. So then it's like, pick one or the other, and that's gonna be better for you than getting this shitty sleep. And then yeah, so like, don't feel guilty. If you're gonna sleep, just sleep. So try not to feel guilty about it, because now you're getting shitty sleep. Or just get out of bed after like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, which is dumb. And I'm sure like I could manage doing that, but then I'll have repeats of that brick workout I did last weekend, where it was just awful. And that was more so just an accumulation of a lack of sleep, not finishing that workout. So yes, that night before I slept like 3 hours, but also Friday night I got up, and Friday night I worked, and then that whole day Friday I was cooked, and then Saturday I had a big long run, and then you're in the heat all day. and just carrying exhaustion throughout the weeks and that week before. So that was just kind of accumulation of all that in one moment. So not just the sleep, but it surely didn't help. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I need like an entire week of just sleeping to like re-normalize my body. But nonetheless, I'm gonna start getting kind of ready and gearing up, and hopefully I'll blow my nose. But yeah. All right, baby, we're gearing up. So I've said it a million times, but these are the socks from my first marathon. They're like the only kind of running-ish type sock that I have, so they tend to do better on long runs. And then I don't have any coffee or any caffeine to take beforehand, so usually I drink coffee every morning, but most mornings. Not today, which I did sleep well. I slept for, I don't even know how fucking long I slept, but I wake up 9:50. Did I wake up? So I got almost 7 hours of sleep, just shy of 7 hours of sleep, which is solid, but it was like good sleep. So I'm not like crazy tired. I'm a little slow-ish. But in general, I feel fine. And then I have, so what I was going to do, I was like, do I go to the store and get, but I was like, I don't fuck. Like, I just want to get this run going. So I do have these gels that have, I'm bringing 5 gels in total, and three of them have caffeine, of which is 32 milligrams per, so 90 milligrams of caffeine, 96 milligrams to 96 milligrams of caffeine throughout this entire run. And then I have 2 gels that just have no caffeine in them. So that will be my caffeine source, which will be fine. I've done runs before, like long runs where I have 0 caffeine, and like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of nice to have that little boost for these runs. Because sometimes it's like, now that I say this and then watch, I'm going to suck today, but like in general, I can run faster for longer, easier, because I'm just more fit. I'm getting more fit as the days goes on. That's the whole point of this. But it requires you to kind of work kind of, not necessarily work harder, but you just have to move faster, be more snappy. Like running a 6, even if you're running 650s, you have to be a lot quicker in a sense than like running an 8-minute mile or a 7:30-minute mile. And one of the things, I'm like a lazy, kind of like a lazy, not a lazy person, I'm trying to think of the right word, but lazy with my movements. So like on the bike, I'd rather just grind out slow as opposed to have a really high cadence. Or on the runs, it's like I can go far. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but just not like super snappy of a person. Speed was never really my thing, so it's nice to have caffeine for that type of stuff. But yeah, so I'm lacing up the kicks, and then we're just gonna get going. It's 12:32. The temperature is, it's 84 degrees. It was like 70 something when I first woke up, so it's slowly rising. 84 degrees is still, like I look at that, I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. So hopefully I won't get crazy hot and much more hot. Obviously, ideally I could have ran this in the morning, but got to bed at 3, so that's not happening. But the more I talk, the later it gets. So I'm gonna go start doing that run thing, those 20 miles, just a bunch of steps, consecutive steps. Watch this. I just walked in the door. Haven't had any water, nothing yet. 20 miles, 7:11 average pace. I got my Guinness glass in the fridge for some nice cold water, because I got to drink right out of the sink, but cold water. Oh man, I've been looking forward to this the whole run. This is what I'm looking forward to, some cold fucking water. Oh yeah! I almost like don't want to drink it because I'm just so excited about it, but
You just can't. Ah! Oh, that's good, baby. All right, I'll do a pre-run, post-run talk later, but yeah, okay, great, awesome, amazing. Folks and gentlemen and ladies and humans and persons and beings. It's 6:56 now, so I think the last thing I did on the camera was when I was drinking the water. So I ate a pound of chicken with some beef as well, and then rice. I edited the reel for tomorrow. I have the 2 daily doodles prepped. They're on my phone. I still have to write them and do the doodle part, but I say 2 because I still have to do one today for tomorrow, but then the one I have to do tomorrow for Monday, I don't want to have to do, so I'm going to try to do that tonight. So that way because Sunday I've got a 6-hour brick and I think it's a 10-mile run or something. So it's going to be it's going to be a big one. I'm going to try to, I kind of forgot that this was my plan, but I should have tried to get to the grocery store today because I always do that Sunday. So we'll see if I even have time to do it on Sunday, but because I like to go to Aldi to get all my good stuff, and Aldi's probably out of stuff by now. But yeah, so the plan right now is we're gonna head to the gym. I'm gonna do 100 pull-ups. We have shoulders and back. The pull-ups are gonna very much play into back, and then I'll probably do one other back movement, and then I'll do some lightweight shoulder stuff. Nothing crazy, I'm not gonna kill myself, and then I have to go to the store to get some goodies for tomorrow. Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be so nice to just have just have someone to do all that stuff for you. Hey, can you just do all this so I can just exist here? Or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I am gonna bring the camera with. Will I film in the gym? Will I film in the grocery store? We'll see. We'll see if I have the balls to do that. Sideways pose down in the locker room? Sure. Oh, I don't know what of that you can see, but I'm gassed. Oh. Alright, so I completely forgot I could film in the store, but I probably wouldn't have done it anyways. Stutter fest. But here's what I got from the store. It ended up being $105, which is what the fuck? You let me know if you think this was worth $105. There's just... God damn it, Liam, you're a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Disregard everything that just happened there. You let me know if you think this is worth $105. You gotta get, you know what? No. You know what? No, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like it right now. You know what? No. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Straddling my coffee table. I made this table. Alright, so it's Sunday. Damn. I have this ice pack on my foot. I haven't mentioned it at all, but I've been having some foot pain the past couple weeks. I'm hoping it's more muscular, kind of tendony, and not bony. As in some sort of stress fracture. I don't think it is. It's just the hardest part is just staying off my feet, because with serving, you're just on your feet all day. So you don't really get that recovery, which kind of sucks. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Well, I guess I brought that up because my ice pack is leaking and I got shit all over the floor. Whatever. But it's Sunday, so we have... I feel like this is a funny camera setup. I'm facing this way, but the camera's over here. I don't know, whatever. I'm in my underwear, so maybe that's good anyways. So, 6 hours on the bike. I don't even know. Let me see how many miles the run is. It's either 8 or 10. 6 hours, run 10 miles. That's what it is, baby. We ran 20 miles yesterday. I was going to do like a little day in the life kind of thing yesterday, but I mean, there's really nothing going on. I woke up, I ran 20 miles. I came back and ate. I edited, did some stuff for the Daily Doodle. Then I went to the gym. I went to the grocery store. Came back, finished the Daily Doodle, ate, and then just went to bed. I mean, maybe, I don't know, doesn't sound like much. But I'm going to carry this video into today. So 6 hours on the bike into a 10-mile run. I'm not going, it's fucking 11:46 in the morning. So, yeah, I didn't get to bed till close to 1 yesterday. It's crazy because even when you wake up early, I just feel like the time flies. Like an hour is like 5 minutes. An hour is not long enough to do anything anymore. Like I just mentioned everything I did yesterday. By the time I finished everything, it was almost 1 in the morning. I was like, God damn, boy. God damn. I can't get to bed early anymore. Mainly that's just because of work. But even on the days I don't work, I'm like, why can't I get to bed at like even 10 o'clock? Even fucking 10. It's just one thing after another. And then, yeah, I mean, you gotta get these things done. They gotta get done. We're chasing something. That's for sure. But yeah, so I'm having some coffee. I got milk and maple syrup in here. I also have, so if you know me, you know I like to eat pretty clean. And depending on who you ask, these are clean, but if you ask me, they're not, but they're kind of breakfast bars. So basically just eating this for carbs, because I'm about to be on the bike for 6 hours and run 10 miles. So that, and I've been eating like protein bars more. I think really the exception I've been making with burning all these calories is like bars like that for carbs, and then protein bars. So like a Quest bar, or honestly just Quest bars. Oh, and then there's ones called Bearbells or Barbells. I always thought it was barbell, but people say Bearbell. I don't fucking know. But I've just been doing that, and then protein shakes have been my like exception, because I want to make sure I'm getting in enough protein. One, because I want to hang on to as much muscle as I can, and two, protein helps with recovery. And also, I noticed like my body composition when I focus. There was a time when I first started this Ironman prep where I was like, oh, I just need carbs. And I was still getting in protein, but I wasn't making it as a priority. And I could see my body composition literally changing. I was like, I don't really like that. So then, obviously I'm still getting in a bunch of carbs, but I was like, I need to fucking dial back in this protein. So yeah, but those are the exceptions I've been making. Breakfast bar, things like this. Cliff bars, which again, just carbs. Protein bars, and then protein shakes. Other than that, everything else has stayed the same. So yeah. But I'm kind of excited. Usually, like, I would be pretty pissed off right now if it's 11:49 in the morning and I have a 6-hour bike ride and a 10-mile run, because I'm going to be doing this all day long. I'm not going to be able to really do anything else. But I don't know, I've kind of accepted the fact that getting to bed early and waking up early just it's kind of a luxury in a way that I don't necessarily have right now. Mainly for the sake of recovery, because I ran 20 miles yesterday, and then sure, I could have went to bed at 1 in the morning. It was like 12:44. I could have went to bed then and woke up at like 5, off of like 5 hours of sleep. But I feel like shit. I ran 20 miles yesterday, and then I gotta go do this massive workout. Like you need the recovery, and I think
I mean, last weekend is a great example of that. I slept like 3 hours and I failed that workout. Still rode like 80 some miles, but it was a pitiful 80 some miles. And I didn't do the runoff. Which part of the reason I was not mad about not doing the run though is because of my foot. And I was like, my foot can use it, so it's probably good anyways. That to say, if I felt good, I was still gonna run. But I felt like dog shit. But yeah, recovery is just so hugely important. And a lot of times people, this isn't even to sound mean, but people will say to me like, oh, I think I'm overtraining and stuff. I'm like, bruh, you're just lifting weights 5 days a week in the gym. You're not overtraining. Even for me, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even think I'm overtraining. I don't think I'm overtraining in relation to my recovery, but if I had my recovery dialed in, I'm not. But just people will say that and I'll just be like, yeah, maybe you are, or something. I'm not gonna be like, no, you're not, you pussy. But in my head, I'm kind of like, yo, come on now. But don't take that the wrong way. But yeah. And then I keep seeing my GT3 RS around. I've mentioned it periodically, but I just take that as a sign. I don't really know. I've been all over the place with just like religion and the universe and signs and all these things, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't fucking know what any of this is. But I always like to take that as a sign. And then yesterday I was going into was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't remember. But I was going up to Publix in this parking garage, and then I was just like thinking about all this stuff, and then like you pull up in there. I was kind of thinking about the car too. It sounds so crazy to be like, oh, this car. But man, I just can't live a life to not experience a car like that. I swear to God. And then I pull up there, and then I could see its little nose peeking out of one of the spots, and I was like, no fucking way. And then it's just like such a beautiful fucking thing. It's just a beautiful car. But I made a daily doodle kind of in relation to it. It was like, because when I saw it, I almost felt like slightly sad. I said like the subtle melancholy of the situation was in relation or whatever to the subtle undoing. And I kind of felt sad because I felt like I was slacking or I was like slipping off or something. And I think that was why I felt that. And I think a lot of that ties to like my sleep schedule just being so out of order. And also thinking about that workout last week where I didn't even finish it, and I was like, I don't know. It just feels like I don't know, I'm just like chasing these things, and then it feels right, I think, I hope. It's weird to base things off feeling too. I feel like that can be slippery. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time left. Well, a lot of time to talk, but a lot of time to talk on this camera because the SD card's almost full. So I'll save that for later. Hopefully something I said was cool. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Here's why I have 24 minutes to make this clip, and then the SD card's out of room, I think. Post 115 miles, 6 hours on the bike, 10-mile runoff. Average pace 7:45 on the bike, it's like 19 miles an hour. No clue what that power is because I was outside. I think the overwhelming words after all of this is just, it takes everything. It takes everything. I don't know, and coming to the close and that last mile 10, pulled my phone out, turned on some music. What did I turn on? Till I Collapse by Eminem. Dun, 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 dun. And then he's just like, you gotta pull that shit within, without you, whatever. And I was just like, just so strongly did I relate to that in that moment. And you can say that to other people and they just don't seem to ever understand. And for so many reasons, there's like 10 times where I just started crying. Just couldn't hold it back, and then
finish the run, and then just like 5 minutes, I'm standing there in the dark. It's 11:08. Finished it probably 20, 30 minutes ago. Just standing there. You're all alone. It's in the dark. You're just fucking crying. And it's just such a odd thing. It's so mind, body, spirit. There's so much involved in this that I don't even, like, I'm going to say this and I'll probably sound like an asshole, but that people just don't understand. And I'm signing up for all of this, but it's not even just this race. It's the fact of every single thing I'm trying to do to just build the life that I want, and to not be complacent, and to not settle. And everything just kind of hit me in that moment. It's hit me a million times, and I think about it every day, but it really came down on me in that moment. It's like, I don't know, there's something you just never feel understood. I think a lot of my life I've never felt understood, and again, I've said that in the past, and I think part of that's on me for not being able to translate what's going on in my head. But a lot of times, like, you'll do things and say things and people just look at you sideways. Or you'll say what you're doing and people will look at you sideways like you're a liar. Which that happens all the time. So that's part of the reason why I just don't talk about what I'm doing. Now that to say, I do post everything on social media now, so there is that. But it's just everything. It literally takes everything. And so many sacrifices. And I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to get sympathy, whatever, but just sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. Just add it to the fucking list. One more sacrifice. One more this. One more that. Put it to the side. Put it on the back burner. It is literally fucking everything. And maybe I'm being completely crazy, but I just don't feel like... I feel like I walk around a lot so misunderstood. I just don't feel understood a lot of the time. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, but the beauty of it is it just makes life easier when you push yourself like this. And this is now I'm getting into like a really narrow thought, but of just like pushing yourself like this, like it just makes life easier all the time. Oh, you're always so calm at work. Oh, you're always so chill. And not even at my current serving job, but just jobs in the past. You're always so chill. Cause you just push yourself hard physically. It's like all this stupid bullshit. Oh, you didn't do your folds. Who didn't polish these glasses? Why didn't you send this email? Oh, you're responding late to this email. Like who cares? It's not a big deal. It's water under the bridge. The world still goes on if this Photoshop doesn't get done. My boss called me the other day, asked if I could do like 6 to 8 renderings. This is for my old job in like 20 days. And I literally told him, I was like, you're not going to understand. I'm going to sound crazy, but I literally don't have the time. Where am I going to find the time to do that? Because I don't even have the time to cook, to clean, to fucking go to the grocery store, to do my goddamn laundry, to keep up on my own personal human hygiene. You think I got time to do fucking 6 to 8 fucking renderings and then have them edited 20 times? God damn, no I do not. Holy fuck. So respectfully, I was like, no. He was like, I'm begging you. And I was like, I'm telling you I don't have the fucking time. I can't, I have 3 clients I'm working with. I could barely manage to schedule those fucking people. God damn. And then it's like, they don't even understand because they don't know everything I'm doing either. It's just, it takes everything. And I'm not complaining. It's just, it literally, I'm stating a fact of the matter is it just takes everything. It takes everything. But for that same fact, it makes it so goddamn rewarding. So, it's a beautiful thing. It's a really goddamn hard thing. Just 6 hours continuous on the bike. I took a break halfway. That was the longest break I took. It was probably like 10 to 15 minutes. Posted the reel and then got a chocolate milk and a protein bar. And then I would take breaks. I only peed twice that whole 6 hours, which was pretty surprising. But I think I was just sweating so much / dehydrated. And then I'd stop at water fountains, which that was the nice thing about the route I took. I literally rode around Bayshore and Davis Island for 6 hours. So I don't know how many loops I did, but I did a lot because I did 115 miles. Like the Bayshore loop's like 7 or 8 miles, and the loop around Davis Island's like 4-ish. So you do the math. I don't know how many I did on each one, but even if you did half and half, I don't know. But I did a fucking lot. But yeah, but it's nice because there's water fountains along Bayshore and there's water fountains on Davis Island. So like once I start to get thirsty, I'm like, I'm gonna get some fucking water. And then I don't really have to worry about how much water I drink because I'm on the bike. So I'm not jumping around like when I'm running. I have to be very disciplined when I'm at the water fountain, which might sound crazy, but you want to drink a lot of water, but when you're running you can't because you're going to get a fucked up stomach and cramps and whatever. Also notice when I drink water and I'm running, I start farting a lot. Which maybe that's good, maybe because the water's helping me digest, which backing or following that, when I'm on the bike and I was able to consistently have more water, I felt better. Because a lot of times when I'm doing these big brick workouts outside on that Suncoast Trail, there's one water fountain 3 miles into the ride, and the trail's 50 miles in one direction. So by the time you get to, by the time you're an hour in, you're already getting thirsty, especially if it's warm outside. So by the time you get halfway on that trail, you're like I'm dying of thirst. Like it's literally insane. And there's a gas station all the way out there, which is clutch. But you have to kind of drive like a mile or so off the trail. But it helped to have consistent water throughout the ride on my stomach. Now, again, following that, it's like, how do you really do that during the Ironman? Because I don't want to be getting off the bike every 30 minutes to an hour to get water. Now, I know they have water stations, or like aid stations throughout the bike, where they have, I assume they'd have water, and I'm pretty sure they have bottles with like fuel or carbs. I don't know what brand they use, probably like Morton or something on the course, but also I think they have Coke. I think Coke's a big thing in the endurance world because it has caffeine and sugar and carbs. But I know that's a big thing. So, which side note, I wish I would have had the Coke during my last marathon because it probably would have helped. But because I'm so strict about not eating and drinking shit like that, I was like, no chance. But now I'm like, I should have took that fucking Coke. It would have been worth it if it made me at least, whatever, that's side note. But yeah, it's mind, body, and spirit. This Ironman is mind, body, and spirit. Trying to build a life that you want, it's mind, body, and spirit. It literally takes everything. And sometimes I feel crazy. Like today is one of those days where you're just, I got on the bike at 1 in the afternoon and I just got done like 30 minutes ago. Again, it's 11:16 now. Probably got done with that run around 10:30ish or a little after 10:30. Sometimes I just feel insane. I'm like, are you crazy? And then you're like, well, where is this even leading me? Is this leading me anywhere? I don't know. But I don't know. It's just trying to build a life that I want, that I think I want, and that I think is true to me, and trying to give myself purpose because I didn't feel any purpose when I did any of my other jobs. Even at the serving job now, it's like I don't really feel purposeful. When I was at my old the quote-unquote big boy corporate job, whatever the fuck, you're supposed to have all this purpose and have a meaningful job. Didn't feel that way. And honestly, when I look at a lot of these people, like where I work, of course I just keep this to myself in my head, I'm saying it now. But I'm like, what makes you so goddamn special? We're all the same. That's what I think in my head. It's not even mean to think like we are literally all the same. But then not a lot of the people that come in there are very nice, but you get the people that just act so, the hell's the right word? Not conceited, but sort of conceited, but entitled. They just act so entitled. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? We're all human. Take crazy example. If you stood there face to face naked with someone, guy or girl, you're a human. Take that fancy watch off. Take the fucking fake lips off, the fake tits, whatever the fuck. We're all human. That shit doesn't make you special. And to the dick fuck cock in the Range Rover with the tinted windows today, that I know he intentionally rode over my bottle when it fell. have a great day. That cock. To be honest, it's funny and it really didn't affect me, surprisingly. But it was good because I have access to gas stations and stuff. And I had 3 breakfast bars and a gel as well. But the bottles always fall off of those bottle cases that are on my seat. And so that happened when I was on Bayshore, and I felt it fall off, and I was like, ah, dick. So then I slow down, I get off my bike to go grab the bottle, I walk back to the bottle, and then I see cars coming, so I was like, well, it's still in the bike lane. It's sort of like touching the white line, but on the inside of the bike lane, so it's like kind of in the bike lane touching the white line. But nowhere is it actually in the car lane. And so and then I see the cars coming, so I was like, well, let me be smart and just not get hit by a car. I'm not in a rush. So I waited the 2 minutes for the 5 cars to pass. They all pass. Everyone kind of just gets over like a foot, because they do see the bottle, and they see me standing there, a foot, like 3 feet away from the bottle, however wide the bike lane is. Standing there, like watching them, waiting for them to pass. Everyone moves over a foot, and then the Range Rover, and I'm watching all the cars. The Range Rover's got tinted windows. Now, to be fair, maybe he's looking at his phone. She's looking at their phone. Who knows? But I just know they saw it. You know, I just know they saw me standing there. They put a smile on their face, and they said, fuck this guy. And it was with their front wheel. And I really wasn't that mad. When it happened, I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then I just kind of flipped him off as he drove by. But whatever. I probably sound more angry about it than I am, but it really was kind of funny, to be honest. Would I have done that? No. Would I have been tempted to do it if I was in the car? Absolutely. But I don't think I'd have done that. Maybe when I was younger, maybe I'd have done that. But you have to assume, no, it could be a kid in his parents' Range Rover, which is very valid around Tampa. But you have to assume it's an older person, at least. I mean, it could be my age or older, but they just got their shits and gigs. Hopefully they got a good laugh out of it, at least. Speaking of laughs, another thing that happened was one of the times I stopped at the water fountain. It was like just under 5 hours. It was probably like 5 hours out, so I had an hour left. Stopped at the water fountain for like 2 seconds. Was going to get back on the bike and then start the watch. But I looked to see if there were cars coming. There were cars coming, so I was like, ah. And then I was still on the sidewalk, and there was like those little electrical things, cylinders, whatever those are called. There was one of those sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit that. But then I couldn't go to the right, because the right was where the curb was and grass and stuff. I was like, I might fall if I go that way. But then I couldn't really make it left because my wheel was already past the thing, so if I turned left, then my wheel would have hit it. And I was like, oh shit. And then you got the clip-in pedals, so then my left foot's clipped in, and then I couldn't unclip in time, so I tumbled. I fell over. Just on the sidewalk. Didn't hurt or anything, but then there was a couple walking their dog, literally watching me fall over, which was hilarious. But then, and I saw them, and I just started laughing, and they're like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. But then I fucking cramped up like crazy. I got like 3 cramps in my abs. And I was like, oh shit. I'm cramping. Oh shit. So then the guy was he picked the bike up, and then I still had my foot clipped in, but then it's pretty easy to unclip. So when he picked the bike up, I was able to unclip my foot. And then I kind of just stood there awkwardly for like 2 minutes, like leaning backwards because my abs were cramping. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, you guys ever have ab cramps? And his girlfriend just kind of kept staring at me, like expressionless. So I was like, either she thinks I'm some crazy psycho weirdo, or she's very concerned for me, or whatever. I was like, I swear I'm not crazy. And then I was like, I got 1 hour left. Which then following that, like a minute down the road, my quads started cramping, specifically my right one and then the inside, to where I couldn't pedal and put pressure on the pedal without my leg cramping. So that became an issue. So then I had to like putz it a couple miles to this gas station, which I would have got further had that not happened. But further in the time frame. But so I had to putz it at the lowest gear, like the easiest gear, to this gas station, because I was like, okay, there's a gas station a couple miles up. Let me get there. Let me go get some salt. So then I did exactly that. I grabbed like a bunch of salt packets and then a Body Armor electrolyte thing. I had 530 milligrams of sodium. It's the one that had the highest amount of sodium. So that's why I got it. So I took a bunch of salt packets, don't know how many, a bunch. And then I drank that whole thing. And honestly, I got back on the bike and I was almost like, wow, I don't even feel like I just rode for 5 hours. Like my muscles felt fresh. I was like, holy shit. So obviously sodium's important and I know sodium's important, but I never physically felt how important it is. So that was really cool to experience that and to now know, one, I'm in a severe sodium deficit. And I know that because every time I do these big workouts, I cramp like crazy by the end. So I know that now, but then I know too that it very much helps with like the muscular fatigue, specifically in my quads when I'm on the bike. So that was huge. So basically what I need to do is I should get like salt tablets or something like that, or just bring packets of salt or something. Salt tablets would be easier though. So that was great. That was awesome. And then came back. I finished the ride and then I'm like, there's like 5 seconds of, whoo, that's relieving. And then you're like, I'm not even done. I still gotta go run fucking 10 miles. So then I was like, holy shit. I was like, we're still going. We are still going. And it was dark. Obviously it's dark, but yeah, it's crazy. We're still going. But yeah, it's 11:24. I have burned now. Let's see how many calories I burned today. It's gonna be a disgusting amount. I don't know. Give me 5 seconds. Let's see here. Holy shit. Holy shit. What is that? Oh my god. 7,242 calories. That is how many calories we burned today. That, my friends, is what you call fucking effort. I love fitness because you can't fucking cheat it. In a world where it seems like so many people cheat shit, especially in Tampa, it's like all this hustle culture bullshit pussies that don't really do anything. You can't cheat fitness, baby. If you want to be good at it, you gotta fucking do it. You can't take some magic pill. You can't take your stupid little fucking peptides. Can't take steroids. Can't do this, that, the third. You just gotta do the fucking work. And I love how honest it is. Can't lie. Stopwatch doesn't fucking lie, baby. Fuck you. And fuck your mom. Just kidding. That was very mean and aggressive. But I love fitness for that. You can't cheat it. You literally cannot cheat it. And for that, again, I love it. You can't buy a six-pack. You can't buy muscles. You can get on steroids, but even on steroids, you gotta still do some sort of work. And then the fools that take steroids, that half-ass it, look like shit anyways. And they don't even realize what they're doing, because then they're probably 25, 30 years old, and they're like, damn, wish I didn't do that. And then they got their little fucking rooster chicken neck. But yeah, now I'm being a little mean. But again, you can't cheat fitness. If you want to run a mile in 8 minutes, 7, 6, 5, under 5 minutes, you gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. You want to run a marathon in under 4 hours? You want to run that sub 3 hour marathon? You gotta do the work. You gotta show up every single day. Can't cheat it. Simple as that. No one else can do it for you. And for that, again, I absolutely love it. People will sit around and just think, how can I, why, blah, 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 blah. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And I think on that note, it's a good stopping point because now it's getting late and I have to eat and recover. And I still have stuff to do because guess what? There's no one else here to do it for me. So I gotta do that. So have a great day. What a fucking day, huh? What a goddamn day, huh?